This is Skywatch Media News for the first week of the new year, 2018. Space researchers were stunned to have recently discovered a huge alien planet that is 13 times the size of Jupiter that is said to be 22,000 light-years away. The object is orbiting its own star and is believed to be a brown dwarf. The newest discovery is fueling speculation of a planet that is hurtling through space that will unleash its fury here on Earth. There is concern that a large presence has been hiding in our galaxy all along, but so far no one seems to know what exactly may be out there, or whether the object may be hurtling a series of space rocks towards the Earth. The object was discovered using NASA's Spitzer Space Telescope, using microlensing, a technique for detecting alien worlds which doesn't require the light from its host star. The planet is so big, the team is not sure if it is actually a failed brown dwarf star instead of a giant planet. It orbits its parent star approximately every 3 years. Remember that it was NASA who announced the discovery of the so-called Planet 9 at the edge of our solar system nearly 2 years ago. There is no one on Earth who knows with any certainty when or if the world will cease to exist in its present state. Establishing false timelines can limit or otherwise diminish the credibility of prognosticators, while at the same time mocking biblical prophecy and religious scripture. Even so, there are a number of ways in which the Earth could suffer immensely due to events that are uncontrollable, and for which there would be very little, if any, advance warning. There are a series of events that could change the face of the Earth as we know it today, and turn it into something unrecognizable. Here they are. A volcanic supereruption could occur at any time, and according to scientists, the Earth is long overdue. Volcanoes are considered to be the biggest threat to human survival. A mega eruption of one of these volcanoes, like Yellowstone, could easily create a nuclear winter where toxic ash blocks out the sun, culminating in a mini ice age. We are specifically overdue a super eruption at the Yellowstone National Park, which has a lava-filled caldera measuring 34 by 45 miles, meaning it could potentially happen at any time. And there are few real contingency plans in place to deal with the ticking time bomb, which they conclude is likely to go off within the next 80 years. In addition to Yellowstone, the world's most dangerous volcanoes that are capable of wiping out human civilization include all of those shown here. In 2015, a team of scientists indicated that a major eruption of any of these aforementioned volcanoes could potentially poison the atmosphere with ash and toxins beyond anything that humans or global warming would be capable of in 1,000 years. There is currently a 10% chance that a super eruption will occur in our lifetime. Another threat long overdue that is certain to happen in our lifetime is a mega earthquake known as a big one. A devastating earthquake of magnitude 8 or larger could unleash a massive tsunami and strike the west coast of the United States along major fault lines, including the San Andreas and the Cascadia subduction zones. Shortly after an emergency test was carried out in 2016, called Cascadia Rising, a spokesman for the operation indicated that subduction zone earthquakes are among the most powerful and can exceed magnitude 9. According to the USGS, as revealed through computer modeling, The San Andreas Fault in California is capable of producing an earthquake of magnitude 8.3, the intensity of which was on display in the devastating San Francisco earthquake of 1906. The Cascadia Zone is of the most concern because it runs some 60 miles offshore from Northern California to Vancouver Island, where a tsunami would threaten the infrastructure of major cities such as Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver, causing millions of people to be indefinitely displaced. An earthquake of magnitude 9 in this zone could potentially be more powerful than the magnitude 9 earthquake and tsunami that struck Japan in 2011, that claimed tens of thousands of lives and wiped out nuclear reactors. The United States is still unprepared for this type of disaster scenario, one that could strike at any time. The consensus among scientists is that the Earth will be hit by an asteroid or a comet that is capable of wiping out life on Earth. It is not a matter of if, but when this day will come. NASA and other agencies have detected some 1,500 near-Earth objects that are life-threatening, but that is a mere 1% of all of the dangerous objects that are out there. NASA has said that there is no space rock that has been detected that will collide with the Earth for at least the next 100 years. But Professor Stephen Hawking is suggesting that Earthlings must find another planet in which to occupy within the next 200 years, or face being wiped out completely. NASA at present has no emergency plan that has been tested in the event of an asteroid or comet invasion, even though there have been campaigns that have called for developing an effective system to defend against cosmic strikes. Many scientists have concluded that an asteroid was responsible for wiping out the dinosaur long ago. In fact, a space rock of just 50 meters in length would be sufficient enough to destroy a city the size of London. The threat of a rogue undetected asteroid is very real, as was proven in 2013 when an unseen asteroid of 20 meters exploded in the atmosphere over Chelyabinsk, Russia. The blast from that asteroid damaged 7,000 buildings and injured 1,500 people. Most would agree that a massive planet or a brown dwarf star moving through our solar system is capable of causing great havoc to other planets, including our own. The gravitational influence of such an entity, if it were to pass close enough to the Earth, would cause a cosmic influx, a shifting of the poles, and a series of massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. It could very easily trigger an apocalypse on Earth. There is sufficient evidence to indicate that a massive planetary presence is orbiting within the solar system. NASA has all but confirmed that something big is out there. The key to watch for with respect to a giant body such as a brown dwarf is to carefully observe the movement of the Earth and the degree to which the Earth's climate shifts. These are good indicators that something is happening to our solar system that is having a magnetic effect on our planet, that is causing the Earth's core to heat up, which fundamentally changes the dynamics of the Earth's crust, thus causing stress and instability, which ultimately leads to more and greater volcanic and earthquake activity. The threats to Earth are many, but those that come from the Earth and from above in the cosmos are the most significant threats that face our planet and the future of present-day civilization. So let's take a look at what's happening across the world for the first week of the new year, 2018. An extremely rare, almost unheard of 4.6 magnitude earthquake struck in the region of the Pacific known as the Mendocino Fracture Zone, which is located some 650 miles off the U.S. West Coast. This fracture zone runs west from a triple junction with the San Andreas Fault, the Cascadia Subduction Zone, and the Gorda Ridge. This is an area that is not known for earthquake activity, unlike those areas located between 50 and 100 miles offshore, where frequent earthquakes are a formality. Something very strange took place on the northern side of the inactive section of the fracture zone, which extends several hundred miles into the North Pacific. What this may indicate is uncertain, but it was important enough to garner a great deal of attention. There is a storm unlike anything seen in these times that is about to unleash hurricane-force winds, huge waves, and more than a foot of snow along the eastern seaboard during this first week of the new year. The mighty storm, referred to as bombogenesis, is a terrifying nor'easter cyclone that is expected to bring 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts to the northeast with record cold blasts. The number of people under a wind chill warning in the United States is sitting at 163 million, which is over half of the current U.S. population. Weather is going berserk across the United States from north to south. Snow was falling in the Gulf of Mexico, off the coast of Louisiana, and in Tallahassee, Florida, where snow fell for the first time in more than 28 years. Savannah, Georgia was forced to close their airport due to wintry precipitation. Blizzard conditions are anticipated in both Massachusetts and in Maine as the explosive bombogenesis develops. The results of the Arctic blast are seen in these images from Texas to Georgia. And so the strangeness continues where it left off in 2017. After the West Coast was burned down by apocalyptic fires, the East Coast is now being engulfed by unprecedented and extreme cold weather events. There is something terribly wrong going on here, and these bizarre weather anomalies are spreading across the Atlantic. An immense extratropical cyclone called Eleanor tore through Europe on January 2nd and 3rd with wind gusts of up to 100 miles per hour. The storm brought with it extreme rains, hailstorms, and tornadoes, leaving tens of thousands without power across northern Europe. Here is a video of Storm Eleanor wreaking havoc in St. Ives, UK on January 3rd. From Ireland to Switzerland, the effects of Eleanor have been felt far and wide across much of Europe, as these images are showing. If you think the frigid temperatures and powerful winds blasting parts of the United States and Europe this week are strange and unusual, imagine living in St. Petersburg, Russia, where the city was covered by unexplained blue snow. These strange weather phenomena sparked widespread fears that the snow was tainted with some kind of toxic pollutant. Now under investigation, officials have yet to offer an explanation for the blue snow in St. Petersburg. This isn't the first time that blue snow has fallen on a Russian city. Blue snow also occurred in 2015, some 1,500 miles to the east of St. Petersburg, in a mysterious zone called Chelyabinsk, where meteor explosions and strange sky phenomena has been witnessed in recent years. The Northern Hemisphere is not the only part of the world that is experiencing bizarre weather anomalies. In Ecuador, an apocalyptic hailstorm accompanied by the most intense rainfall in 15 years struck the country with such fury that it buried cars in a sea of hailstones. Many of you would agree that something strange is taking place in our atmosphere that is causing the world's climate to change suddenly and with such fortitude. The appearance of the sky is also changing, which some believe to be a sign of the times that are now upon us. If you look to the sky, you may see the heavens open to reveal an apocalyptic overture of immense colors that are coming together in a spectacle of grandeur. What I just described is what occurred just prior to Christmas in Great Britain. Red fiery clouds gathering to form an epic sunset of unimaginable proportions, an ominous sight for all who were in its presence. There are many great moments in events in time that both inspire and impress. This would be one of those moments. As we look to the sky, we do so with the belief that a much higher entity will guide us in our journey through the latter days and in the time of sorrows. By looking to the stars, we can acquire the keys and the knowledge that will open the door to a greater world that awaits all those who remain faithful during these challenging times. And therefore, we must all keep looking to the sky.